FEMA was founded by the non-C-suiters, and that was very, very advantageous. And we weren't told by anybody that you had to do it their way. We were all told you got to do a better way.
We realized early on that we had to organize into an entity that could speak back and then raise money somehow, then go struggle to work with each of these states to try to get some, even get them to listen to us.
And if there was competition, I think every one of us got to be pretty darn good at writing direct mail letters. It's a lost art today, which is really too bad because, damn it, Tom, you and I were pretty good at that.
Yeah, we were stellar, weren't we? We were on the cutting edge.
I was 27 years old when we started PIMA. And the best advice I could give to anybody is listen. I had the opportunity to sit at the feet of some real pioneers in the industry. And I learned more by listening, even though I thought I was the smartest person in the room.
I get to work my first day. I got my new three-piece suit on, and they give me an American Express card and a $300 permanent advance, and they say, well, we'll see you at the company Christmas party. Go out and sell. And I'm flying all over the place saying, well, what the hell did you get yourself into here? But, you know, it all worked out, and it's going to work out now, too.
The old guys that say it's only for the old guys are wrong. And if you do not include us, you will miss a chance to grow.
And my dad taught me a lot of things about customer service and customer relations. You know, I have this story about selling Swiss cheese. And he'd say, do not ask them how much they want to buy, because if you ask them, they'll say a familiar thing like a pound. But he said, instead, son, he says, you put the knife on the cheese like this, and you say, would you like this much? And of course, they're going to say yes, and you just sold 2 pounds. That was my dad. He taught me how to cut the cheese, and I applied that to this business.
One of the advantages of being in an organization like PIMA is no matter how small your operation might be or limited, you're dealing with the top people in the industry. By going to the PIMA meetings and to being involved on committees, you're getting to work with the true leaders.
PIMA just has this ornate way of attracting, these organizations and these people. It's like, maybe it's because it all started out as these family businesses. So, the relationships are key, and being able to pick up the phone and call a friendly competitor and say, hey, what are you doing here? Or how are you overcoming these challenges? Or, that's, you just don't see in a lot of industry.
Well, simply put, I have just thoroughly enjoyed this career of mine in this space. And I think the main reason I do is that there are more great people than there are not in this business. Just really great, solid people. And where can you go sit with competitors and talk about your wares, compete, and then you retire to the same retirement communities as good friends?
I enjoyed my career. It was better than being a dentist. And I enjoyed working with the people that I worked with. Maybe there were some fist fights once upon a time, before my time. But for the most part, it was very cordial and collaborative. And just to try to get the right product to the people at a good price.
I joined PIMA in 1975 when PIMA started. So I was lucky enough to be at the first meeting in Pheasant Run in Chicagoland, and spanning many decades and having worked with all the founders and the legends, it's been a unique opportunity for me and a great learning experience and a privilege to be a member.
PIMA was just great. It was just such a great place to grow up. Back then, we all had young kids, and we all came. So our kids grew up going to PIMA together. I mean, that was really kind of pretty special. We were young, and we were able to kind of bring our families to nice places. It was a great, welcoming place.
But at the end of the day, people aren't doing business with some nameless, faceless insurance company, right? They're going to do business with the people that are representing that company. So that was the other thing you have to realize, is that, yeah, you get paid by the company, but really you're there to represent your clients in the best way you can.
Insurance is a relationship business. And if you do not work that way, live that way, you're not going to be successful. So I believe if you treat each other with love in your heart, good things will follow.
That's the biggest difference, is that the relationships are not transactional, they're deep, and people do things for each other. No cost, nothing, just come on out and we'll do it. There's a lot of examples like that in the PIMA world, in the affinity space, where people extend that olive branch and say, I'm not looking for anything in return. I'm gonna just do you a solid, maybe someday you'll do me a solid. And it's just so widespread in that group, and it's part of the culture of that group.
Specifically, what was happening at PIMA when I became board president was we had a great board meeting in January, very exciting, and then a couple of months later, the world shut down. It was the pandemic. I think for myself and the board, it was really important to make sure that, our families were safe, that our employees were safe.
It was a time where we really began to hunker down and leverage AI technology, for example. I can still remember sitting in a PIMA meeting, hearing somebody mention ChatGPT for the first time. They started talking about that for the first time, and I'm going, what the hell is that? So, I get home, I start typing stuff in, and I'm going, holy mother of God, this game is changing.
There's an entrepreneurial spirit in this affinity business that you don't find, I think, in a lot of different industries. And it goes back to that original founding, core group of people that founded PIMA. They were entrepreneurs.
We're 50 years strong, and I think we're going to be another 50 or more strong if we keep focused on moving forward, thinking about things that are important for this industry, the changes that keep happening, and staying on top of them, where PIMA becomes so critical to that. This is the place where we can come together. From that perspective, I'm just really excited about celebrating our 50th. It's not all about the past, it's about looking forward. And I really think that that's super important for PIMA, that forward look. And it's always about what are we doing today that's wonderful, but what do we need to be thinking about tomorrow to make sure that we stay a strong industry.